Because why trust Tylenol when you can ventilate your brain? Archaeological evidence shows patients survived these procedures at decent rates, their skulls showing signs of healing. So, not just a medieval lobotomy, more like a last-ditch effort with a decent follow-through. And then there's wound care. Texts like the Trotula and Chirurgia Magna contain recipes that would make a modern herbalist weep with joy. Honey, an antiseptic, wine, a disinfectant, and linen bandages were all used. Not quite penicillin, but honestly better than the rub mud and hope approach often credited to the era. Even dental work wasn't all pliers and screaming. Some surgeons used gold wire to secure loose teeth. Granted, medieval toothpaste was mostly charcoal and regret, but hey, they tried. Yes, there were leeches. And urine analysis. And yes, if you had a suspicious mole, someone might call it a sign of witchcraft and light you on fire. But overall, if you avoided the plague, war injuries, and humour imbalances, you had a fighting chance with a halfway decent barber surgeon. Of course, this doesn't mean medieval hospitals were soothing wellness spas. They were more like chaotic monasteries with a prayer budget, a bone saw, and a lot of yelling. But the myth that all medieval medicine was blind guesswork isn't entirely fair. Sometimes medieval doctors knew what they were doing, other times they were just winging it with holy water and optimism. But credit where it's due, some of those patients actually walked out with all their limbs still attached. Let's bust one of the most stubborn medieval myths. The idea that everyone from the 5th to the 15th century wandered around like stinky, unwashed potatoes wrapped in wool. Contrary to this very pungent stereotype, many medieval people were not only aware of personal hygiene, they were downright fussy about it. Archaeological digs and manuscript evidence suggest that bathing, grooming, and scented oils were not only common, but part of a decent person's weekly routine. Now, did they shower twice a day and exfoliate with apricot scrubs? Absolutely not. But they did use soaps made from animal fat and ashes. Earthy tones. And many households had wooden tubs they filled with hot water for a nice soak, assuming you had a servant to haul it in and you didn't live in a drafty shack. And don't even get started on the public bathhouses, especially in places like medieval Paris, London, and the Islamic caliphates, where shared steamy bathing was both a social activity and a way to not smell like old cheese. Some even had separate rooms for men and women, and yes, it sometimes got a little too social, which is why a few church leaders started side-eyeing the whole bathhouse industry.